Hello, in today's lesson we are going to learn how to find parts of a circle, be it the radius or the diameter, given the circumference or the area. So in our first example, it says find the radius of each circle, use your calculator's value of pi, and round your answer to the nearest tenth. So since we're given the circumference and we want the radius, we're going to use the formula circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. And we're simply going to plug in the value for the circumference. 2 and pi are constants, and our only variable is the radius. So we can solve for the radius by dividing both sides by 2 and pi. So our radius has a value of 56.5 divided by 2 times pi, which we can go to our calculator. Mine's not up. There we go. 56.2 divided by, now just one thing, don't forget to put the 2 and the pi in parentheses, so you're dividing by both values. If you don't put parentheses in, it'll only divide by the 2. So we have 8.9, and that is in meters because it's a linear distance. Next, we'll do number 5. Find the diameter of each circle. Use your calculator's value of pi, round your answer to the nearest tenth. So we can either use circumference as 2 times pi or simply pi times diameter, which is easier because we don't have to find the value of the radius and then double it to get the diameter. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi. So my diameter has a radius of 27.6 divided by pi, which if I put it in my calculator, I get 8.8, and that is in meters once again. All right, 2 more examples. Number 9 says find the area of each circle. So here I'm given the circumference. Now I know the area is pi times the radius squared. So since I'm given the circumference, I'm going to use 2 times pi times r. So it'll give me my radius, which I can plug in to find my area. So if my radius is 34.6, I can use this to solve for, the radius by dividing by 2 pi. Move this. And I get my radius is 34.6 divided by 2 pi. And I get 5.5. So I can plug 5.5 into the formula for the area. And simply enter this expression in my calculator. And I get 95.0. Now don't forget, since this is an area, it's units squared, so we're going to do feet squared. And one more example. Find the radius of each circle. Use your calculator. Calculator's value of pi. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So for this one, the formula for the area of the circle is pi times the radius squared. I know my area is 422.7 equals pi times r squared. So I have to do two things here to solve for r. First, I have to divide by pi. Now this will give me the value for my radius squared. But to solve for the radius, I have to take the square root. So the radius has a value of the square root of 422.7 divided by pi, which I can go ahead and put right in my calculator. Let's see, I have 422.7. Just one thing you have to watch out for is make sure on your calculator all of these values are underneath the radical. If they're not, you might have to use some parentheses. So I have 11.6, and that's the radius. So it's a linear distance, so it's just miles. All right, one more example. Find the diameter of each circle. So I'm given the area, so once again, I'm going to plug in 13.9. I'm going to solve this the same way. And I'm going to find out the radius is the square root of 13.9 divided by pi. The only trick is they don't ask me for the radius, they ask me for the value of the diameter. So when I get my radius as 2.1, my diameter is going to be double that. So I get 4.2, and that's going to be in feet. And that's it for today. You're going to complete the rest of the odds as practice.